All right, part two, how to set up your Onda Burrito Bivy. When you receive your Bivy, you're gonna receive the Bivy, matching stuff sack, and the rigging components, which is 20 feet of guy line, 2.5 feet of elastic shot cord, 4 mitten hooks, and 1 cord lock. And I'll show you how to do the initial setup here now before you go out the first time. So similar to the tarp, you're gonna start by cutting 6-inch pieces of the shot cord. And we're gonna put 1 at each corner of the bivy and then 1 on the actual tarp tie out where you're gonna be hanging the head end of your bivy up. So we'll go ahead and cut 6-inch pieces right now. You're gonna cut a total of 5. So there's, and just like with the guy line, I just like to give a quick singe to the end of these to stop the woven jacket of the shot cord from fraying. Okay, so we're gonna put 1 at each corner of the bivy. So on these bivvies, I've added a tie-out point to each corner. This grosgrain piece right here. And this can be used 2 different ways to stake the bivy out if you're gonna do cowboy camping. Also, if conditions need and it's windy, we're gonna use this to clip it into your tarp system to keep it in place too when you need to get away and take care of any camp chores. So just like with the tarp, we're just gonna use a fisherman's knot. So you're gonna pass it through here. Same thing. Loop it around itself and through the hole. I'll try to show a better view of that here. And then the same thing, we're gonna go around, come up, and then back through that hole that you just made. And then just give it a little tug to tighten it on itself. And we're gonna do that on each corner here. Okay, and the last piece, you can either put it on the middle tie-out point of your bivy, or I like to put it on the tarp itself. And I'll show you where that is. So the front is gonna have the logo. Go to the front, the head end ridge line. And on the inside of each of these tie-out points on the tarp, I actually sewed another loop on the inside. So this is where you're looking at when you're sleeping under it. And on this inner loop is where you wanna put this other piece of elastic here. And we're just gonna do the same knot. All right, now for the guy line with your bivy. We're gonna use 5-foot sections at the head end corners of the bivy, 3-foot sections for each foot end of the bivy, and then that leaves you with about 4 feet that you're gonna use on the middle tie out on the zipper that's gonna go above your head. So 2 5-foot lengths, 2 3-foot lengths, and 1 4-foot length. And again, if you wanna trim these down and adjust these after you've done a first setup, initial setup, then you can go ahead and do that. But these are just what I recommend you start with. And just like with any other one, we're just gonna quickly singe the end of these to stop any fraying. And just like with all the other tie-outs on the tarp, we're gonna tie that same bowline knot again, which is the fixed loop. So just a quick review again. You're gonna make a loop, take the tail, go up through the bottom, underneath the running end, and back down through that same hole and tighten it up. And then you have a fixed loop. So just do that 4 more times. Okay, the last part of the setup here for the bivy. Right now we're gonna start with the head end of the bivy, which has the mesh. And that means we're gonna take the 5-foot section and you're just gonna make a girth hitch. So you're just gonna pass the bowline knot through the shot cord and then take the tail end of the guy line and just pass it right through that same hole. And just pull it till it's snug. And then that way it's just attached, but not permanently. And then with the other end, we're gonna make another bowline knot. So start it with your loop, then take your mitten hook, pass it onto there, and now we'll take the working end and we're gonna do our bowline knot just like we did before. And then this is gonna tie a loop here. So our mitten hook is attached. And then we can use this to loop in and clip into the inner loop of the bivy, of the tarp, which we'll show you when we do a setup. So this is easily, you can take this on and off very quickly and easily as you want, depending on the conditions that you're in. So we're gonna do that at each corner. And the last piece of cord and the cord lock, that's your adjuster. If you're in a buggy campsite and you're going to be zipped into your bivy, this is used to pull it up off of your face, which we'll show you, but this gives you some adjustment. So you're just going to take the loose end put it through the tie up, and then you're just going to slide on this part. And the other end, when we put that shot cord in on the tarp, you're just going to girth hitch it. So to do that, underneath the tarp, you pass this through the shot cord, do a girth hitch just like you did on all these corners, and then run this end back here in your shot cord, or cord lock. So then when you're in your bivy, you just pull this tighter and it makes the cord shorter, lifting it higher off your face. When you want to get out or you want to loosen it, you just let go and it's going to fall down to the end. You could put a little stopper knot on the end too if you wanted to, a little overhand knot. So that's it for the initial setup for your bivy. And we'll go over some of those options on whether you're staking it out for cowboy camping or if you're going to clip it in fully if it's rainy and windy underneath your tarp. And that's it. Thanks.